Welcome back to CASTPERGERS, Quarantine Edition. Today, we have a very funny guest, Tom Whalen, an LA comedian that is not from LA, but that's where I know him from, and he's fucking hilarious. I'm being honest with you. And
Thank you, Eli.
Where are you right now?
I'm in New Hampshire right now, which is, not a lot of people go to New Hampshire, but it's actually where fucking broke Boston people go to die. You know what I mean? Like
the opposite of Boca
it's
Raton.
the country. Exactly. It is the exact opposite. It's like bizarro Boca Raton, where it's like, people that like riding tractors, like people in Boston that know what two-stroke gasoline is, they moved to New Hampshire. You know what I mean?
I have no knowledge about any East Coast culture outside of New York City. Also, I just want to let the listeners know we have a very unstable connection here, so I'm going to have to do some editing. So please forgive the jumping. I'm going to do my best to make sure everything is seamless. However, I'm no Todd Walker, and I'm a terrible editor. But I'll do my best.
Todd's a great editor. My videos, I'll tell you, me and Todd have put out so many videos that no one has watched, and it's not because they're not good. It's because we put them out years ago when neither of us had any name in anything. And, but we have he's one of the funniest editors. Like, he's easy at reading the sense of humor of the situation and he cuts always the right stuff in. He's great.
I was cracking up at, he posted this video where he's dancing and then like his face will come and like align here, and I don't know.
It's funny. Todd was my first friend in LA. Like, first person I was friends with in LA. We met because we were both living at this like artist living house. And so it was a house with 25 people in it. So he and I we hit it off right away. I remember when I was moving in, I had all my baggage and I thought he was my other friend. And I went up and he was sleeping in his car and I just like slammed on the window. And neither of us had started stand-up yet in LA. So we were both like, fuck, let's go hit some open mics. And he and I went to, we went for a walk to pick up weed. And then we came back and we were like, yo, let's stop and get something to eat in here. And we walk in and Chris D'Elia's in there. You know what I mean? And so we were like, yo, dude, Chris, where do we go? He was like, go to the Ha-Ha. So we went to the Ha-Ha, and, kind of the rest is history. We both started hitting open mics all the time. And, he started making more videos. And, yeah, here we are now.
I love a good comedy origin story.
Yes. We're like the X-Men of shitty stand-up comedy.
But one day I would need a comedy orgy story.
Oh, you'll get one. Trust me. Go to the right parties, dude. Go to the right parties. Just go to a party and pull your dick out.
I got to be invited to one first.
I know. I'll get you. Not a lot of parties have been going. Like, they're all in the summer, dude. And, the winter's slow with that stuff, but the summer's coming, but now it's like, but the parties are going to be ridiculous once quarantine is over.
Hang on a second. We've been pretending like quarantine isn't happening for the last several minutes. What the fuck have you been doing? I want to take me through like Tom Whalen day one versus week 2 versus now.
It's so funny.
What emotions have you been going through?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. So before this all happened, I had left my old job to take a new job. And just my day job and, what I do to don't have to couch surf anymore and everything, and keep a car. And so I left my job, and then my first day was like the day before the quarantine started. So they were like, I get there and they're like, oh, okay, like we're going to have to sit 6 feet away from each other. And I was like, okay. And then they were like, yeah, so don't come in. We don't need you anymore. So I was like, fuck. So I was like, oh my God, now I can't collect unemployment. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of shit. So my first day I was freaking out because I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? My car's in the shop. So I have to pay to get that out and shit. It's crazy. So my first day, you know, it was pretty scary. What about you?
Well, I'm very fitness oriented, and you know, like if I'm not doing fitness and comedy all the time, I just feel like my life is a waste. And those are like my two of my things. They
So
both
wait,
require to be around people. So my gym closed, comedy ended, and things got pretty dark for a minute. I was like, okay, I haven't been drinking much for maybe like a year. I haven't been drinking much. I haven't been really like doing drugs or anything because I'm like, okay, I gotta feel good tomorrow because I gotta improve myself physically because that keeps me grounded. And
yeah.
now that that's out the fucking window, I'm just like, why would I not just get hammered every day? And I thought about it. I'm like, there's really no reason why I shouldn't. And
And
things
there's no
got real dark
pressure.
for a while.
You know, there's no pressure. It's like when you're living your regular life, if you sit home all day and drink 12 beers and fucking jack off 9 times and watch Netflix, that's like a bad day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not getting anything done. You know, you're like, I feel guilty when I have days like that, you know? And so like now there's zero guilt, there's zero pressure not to just fucking get fucked up and have a great time.
Yeah, I think I took it a little far. I was just
I mean, what else are we gonna do? Like I've been improving my social media presence. Like I've started a TikTok and I've been making some memes and stuff, video game memes. So at least I'm still doing something. Even I haven't been drinking either, but I've been smoking a lot of weed. You know what I mean? And like when you smoke weed before 12 p.m., you're not really gonna get anything done.
yeah.
You
That's
know?
how I feel about weed as well. I mean, I'm drinking. I said this morning, I was like, I'm not gonna smoke weed today. I'm just gonna little Corona. By
Yeah.
the way, this is a fucking
Ooh,
delicious flavor.
a little
Guava lime,
fresca, guava lime.
178 calories. So
You're kidding me.
the White
I
Claw.
might crack a bottle of wine, honestly. You know what's so fun about this? What's so fun about this Zoom meeting podcast is that I can like bring you wherever I want. Ready? Here, lights on. Woo! You know,
Hang on, is your front door open?
that's not a front door. That's a side door. You want to see New Hampshire? You want to see what New Hampshire looks like?
Yeah, sure.
So I was born in Massachusetts. I was born in Beverly, Mass. But I moved here when I was 16. So this is what New Hampshire looks like. You can hear the birds chirping. It's very peaceful. It's a very peaceful place.
Is this your parents' house?
No, this is actually a buddy of mine. He's a pretty successful guy. He owns his own business and stuff. He just bought a new house. So this is his old house.
How many people live in there?
Just me right now.
You have a whole house to yourself?
Yep. And that's why I'm like, damn, dude. If this was a different time, a different place, I'd be calling so many bitches right now.
Yeah.
Dude, all of the girls that I went to high school with that want to fuck me just because I've met like Jude Law and shit. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's crazy and it's pretty awesome. But I have to feed dogs, dude. My buddy Steve, whose house I'm staying at, he raises attack dogs, like protection dogs for, for instance, people that buy it would be like, rich people, drug dealers, police. The police buy a lot of his dogs. And dude, look at this. This is the food I feed this thing. Chicken necks and fucking chicken bath. Things eat bones.
Where are the dogs?
There's one. He's in his kennel. You have to kennel these dogs because they're so like he was hanging out with me earlier for like an hour and a half, but like you have to kennel these dogs. You have to put them in kennels. I don't know if you even would want me to show the dog, but he's in a kennel and he's a Belgian Malinois, which is like this. It's like a German Shepherd, but more of a beast.
That is fucking interesting. You're living in a house for free, raising attack dogs? I want to hear about
Yeah,
this.
dude, that's pretty much my life right now. We're talking about our bringing us through the days of quarantine.
That's a fucking amazing way to open a bottle.
Well, this is just the cool guy way to do it. You know how like opening the cool way to open a
Champagne bottle?
fucking bottle is with a lighter.
Did you say with a lighter?
Yeah.
Is that considered
Dude,
cool?
I got bad.
You know how blue moons are twist offs?
I feel like I didn't know that.
You're not alone, but they are. You do this thing where the skin right here is, I don't know, it's real sticky or something, and you can open a blue moon with your under forearm. It'll just go and come off. And it was a real cool party trick when I was like 18 or 19. People were like, whoa, how'd you do that?
And you're like,
skills.
I'm a magician. I'm conjuring the shit. Dude, it was so easy to be cool in college. If you just like walk into a room and take a shit on the floor in college, everybody's like, dude, Whalen's the man, dude. You know what I mean?
So fucking accurate. I had a friend who shit in a cup and put it in the microwave for 45 minutes at a house party.
45 minutes?
Yeah.
No, dude, why?
I mean, we didn't stay there and wait the whole time for it to see how it
You
turned
were
out.
there, dude?
We just turned it on and left.
Wow.
That sounded dangerous.
Yeah, I live dangerously, my dude. I'm drinking this out of a red Solo cup.
Like the good old days.
Yep, like the good old days. You want to see the setup? Check it out, dude. Look at this. I started this fire all on my own.
Nice.
Pretty cool. See, I thought I'd take this time to feel what it was like to be a regular human again.
I don't think there's anything regular about being on house arrest.
Yeah. Hey, dude, if you're fucking on Wall Street, it's a pretty usual thing.
Yeah, you can still trade from home too.
It's so funny how these Wall Street people, like, if you go up to someone and you take their wallet and run away, you go to jail for like 2-3 years. If you go in and you steal like someone's, something out of someone's house or their car, you go to jail for like, 10 years, depending on how many times you've done it. If you steal hundreds of millions of dollars from a group of people, you usually get like 3 strikes before you get in trouble and then house arrest for a couple years, Yeah,
there's a bigger incentive to ruin people's lives financially with fraud than to like, I don't know, provide like a service like drugs, which is not stealing from anyone, but
what I'm saying is that like, it's crazy how as long as you're rich and you're stealing money from other rich people, you don't get in trouble, or even rich people stealing from poor people. That happens a lot too,
If you're rich and doing shit with drugs, you will go to prison for life.
I don't know.
El Chapo versus Bernie Madoff.
Oh, I get what you're saying. If you're doing it on behalf of drugs, but the crazy thing about drugs is that we have to let some in. You know what I mean? Like, as a government, imagine if all the cocaine, all the heroin, all the, MDMA, which we can make here, but like, let's say all the drugs that you can't make in the US, opium, so no heroin, cocaine, no cocaine. Let's say those were completely stopped from being brought into this country. Like, we really tried.
The DEA would be out of business.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. I'm not pointing any fingers. I don't know how it happens. Maybe people just take a blind eye. Maybe they have an active approach in it. I don't know. But, there's at least a certain amount of drugs that are let into this country.
There's this comic, Drew Daly. He's on the open mic scene, and he made this good point on stage where he said how Martin Shkreli, how he raised the price of an antiviral AIDS drug by like
Yes.
1,000% or something. He ended up going to prison, but not because of that. It was because he cheated investors.
Yes.
So the fact that you're fucking over regular people who can't afford medical care, that's fine. But you start robbing rich people, you're going to prison.
Yes. Imagine, dude. Imagine if that if that pill that he raised the price on ended up being the cure for a coronavirus.
Oh, he'd be killing it.
Oh,
It's an
dude.
antiviral.
Yeah, who knows? We have no idea. We have no idea what stops corona. Actually, Eli, I will say the connection's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
I know. I think we get along pretty good.
No, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. No, but yeah, so what was I going to say though? Fuck. Oh, did you know that Shkreli, the guy from Fire Festival, and the Situation are all in the same prison together?
It must be nice.
That's like the Avengers of douchebags.
Yeah.
Shkreli's like fucking, Captain America. I don't know. Mike, the Situation would definitely be the Hulk.
He didn't file any taxes for 2 years. I think that's why he went to prison. And he was making millions of dollars.
Oh, and something else I was going to say about Shkreli. Like, you have to understand also, they know everything that's happening all the time. And a lot of times they'll let things go. They give people wiggle room.
Who's they?
The government, the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, they know everything that's going on. It's when people go crazy with it, like Jordan Belfort, the guy from Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, I mean, that just has to do with how the law works. Like, if you have suspicion someone's doing something wrong and you can't prove it, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That's why, like, in movies, they're like, I know, I got a feeling in my gut this guy's doing this and he's going to do that and that. And they're like, listen, you need evidence. You're going to get taken off. You need to get your mind off this and you need to focus on this thing that we got a bunch of evidence on.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they definitely let some stuff go. They, when someone gets too powerful, they step in. When someone's really fucking people over, they step in. But what Jordan Belfort was doing was he was selling the worst possible stocks that, like, anybody with any common sense wouldn't buy. Like, something that's like, he's like, dude, this stock is only a penny, which means if you invest $10,000, you have 1 million shares or whatever, and then they're like, oh my God, come to find out he gets 40% commission of that because they're not selling any stocks. So they're like, just please, we'll give you anything. Just bring us fucking investors. And
then Bernie Madoff ran off with $55 billion. That's
crazy.
You watched the movie with Robert De Niro?
Not yet.
It's called The Wizard of Lies. And
yes.
I remember there's a couple scenes in there that really stuck out to me. There's one where Robert De Niro plays Bernie Madoff. And the 2008 crash is going down, and his whole thing was a Ponzi scheme where he's using other people's money.
To pay back investors.
Yeah. So in 2008, there's no new investors because everyone's money's going down. And he's like, my house of cards is falling down. So he sits his sons down and he's like, listen, there were never any trades. And he's like, what do you mean? I do this every day for my entire professional life is go through the trades. And he's like, yeah, some guy just types that shit up. It's all fake. And they're like, what the fuck? And then a bunch of people end up killing themselves. And it's just, he was doing this for like 15 years, like maybe more.
It's crazy.
25 years just printing out fake shit and sending it to, like, I don't know, man. That shit's.
I mean, a great skill in life is being able to trick people. and being able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like convince people, like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm saying it's a good skill to have to make money. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's a good thing to have as a person. I'm saying it's a good thing to have as a successful, rich person, you know? And, you know, what the rich people do is they teach their kids that shit. So they stay rich, you know?
You mean the Jews?
No, I know plenty of fucking WASP, fucking Catholic, Protestant. Not a lot of, I don't know if I know any rich, like, Baptists. Only the fucking priests are rich if you're a Baptist. Only the pastors, you know?
You'd think they'd be broke because of all the settlements.
Oh, the Catholic Church. Let me tell you, the Catholic Church is fucking, if people think, and I'm Catholic and I'm proud of this. Like, I mean, I was raised Catholic. I don't go to church or anything. I didn't even get confirmed. But I think I ask too many questions to be in a real religion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no place for analysis in faith.
And like, do I believe in like a higher power or God or whatever? I do. Like, I really believe there's something that keeps the world going, or else, you know, there's just something. But I just ask too many questions. I'm too much of like a wisecrack, you know? Like, thankfully, that's probably why I never got molested. You know, like, I feel like they targeted the kids that were just like, yes, you know, father. Just basically like, you know, they would get kids with like no dads and stuff.
I look for the same thing in girls.
Right. We're just predators. What can we say? So I had a baseball coach that after he died, they found out he was a confirmed child molester and actually child murderer.
Oh, dude, I think you told me about this, but tell me the whole story.
So this summer league baseball thing happens, right? And we're like, let's all play. So me and all my friends get in. You know, we have my boy Jeff, we have my boy Phil, we have my boy Kyle. Like, our tightest friends all played on this team, right? And there was like this other friend, Jack, and a couple other kids. So we're playing, we play through the season. He's a weird guy. He'll like, you know, do cup checks and stuff. He'll come by and just like, you know, bop you. And I think he never did it to me because my dad's a scary guy. You know what I mean? Like, you target kids that have like weak parents, whereas like my dad would come down and kill this guy. So anyways, the last game of the season, I wanted to have a pool party. I had a pool at my house and we would have pool parties at the end, you know, cookout, pool party type thing. Right. So I'm going around asking everybody. I go up to like my friend Kyle. I'm like, yo, you want to come to a pool party? He's like, yup. Go to my friend Phil, pool party? Yup. Go up to everybody. Go up to Jack. I go up to Jack. I go, hey, so do you want to come to my pool party? And before he could say anything, the coach, you can look him up, Peter Haskell. He lived in Georgetown, Massachusetts. He coached in Beverly. You can Google it. He was a child molester, child murderer. The coach, Pete, he goes, no. I'm going to bring Jack home. I have it. I'm bringing him home. And I was like, that's weird. So a couple minutes go by and Jack again, I'm like, yo, Jack, like, we're all going to be at this pool party. You should come to this pool party. We'll give you a ride. And the coach goes, listen, like I said to you before, I'm giving Jack a ride. And so I was like, all right, whatever. So then a couple minutes go by. I go up to my friend Jeff. I go, hey, Jeff, are you going to come to the pool party? And the coach fucking, something exploded in his head and he started freaking out at me, going, I told you I was bringing Jack home. I spoke to his mother. He is not coming to your pool party. I'm bringing Jack home. Meanwhile, my dad's here. He came to this because it was the last game of the season. He doesn't know my dad's there. My dad fucking gets up like a silverback gorilla, and he's like, what the fuck did you just say to my son? And he's like, Tommy, take your jersey off. Phil, Kyle, Jeff, get in the car. We're leaving. And so we all get in the car. I take my jersey off. My my little boy tits are hanging out in front of all my friends' moms that I wanted to fuck. It was just so terrible. And we get in the car, we go home, we get halfway home, and we go, wait a second. Jack's probably in trouble right now. So my dad turns the car around. We drive back to the field. By then, the game was already over. We turn the car around. We get there. We get to the field. Jack's gone. The coach is gone. His parents were there. His parents came to pick him up. So he was not supposed to be giving Jack a ride home. And then fast forward, 12, 13 years later, he dies, and this article comes out. My buddy Kyle messages it to our chat group, and he's like, yo, Tommy's dad saved our lives. And I read this article, and it was like he had murdered a couple kids. He had like remains at his house. Yeah, Google it. Yeah. They didn't find any of this out until he was dead.
How did he die?
I think just natural causes. He was an old man. He was an old man. He was like 75 when he coached us. So he was like 90 years old.
Oh, that is absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah. So yeah, Google that. If you're watching this podcast, you can pause it. You can Google that. You can read all about it. Peter Haskell. He coached Beverly soccer. He coached Beverly baseball. And he was like one of those guys that was like what's the word? Like a pillar of the local community. You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking him up right now. State police and the FBI searched a Chestnut Street house for 4 days early this month. Agents were looking for the body of a boy reportedly murdered in 1970. A man told Georgia police as a child he had witnessed the owner of the house, Peter Haskell, murder a young boy, and the body was buried in Haskell's basement. Same witness told police Haskell had sexually abused him as a child, and one time he smelled the odor of burning flesh coming from Haskell's basement. That is fucking insane.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I was lucky. My parents just made me incredibly unfuckable. Like they just let me run around looking like whatever I wanted.
I'm from Irvine, which is like the safest city in the country.
Yeah, I like Irvine a lot.
I've never heard anyone say that.
I like it. I like driving through it.
Yeah, driving through it's nice. Living there is terrible.
Well, I've never lived there. I stayed there for like a week once. I thought it was cool, man. It's like, whatever. It's convenient, if nothing else,
It's perfect if you want to just go to college, graduate, and get a secure job. And that's if that's what you want to do with your life, Irvine's a good place for you.
I got to put my hat back on. My fucking shit. I have greasy ass hair, dude.
What's the temperature out there?
It's pretty cold. It's probably about 48 degrees today.
That's not too bad.
No, I mean, you remember it's spring. We're in April now.
Dude, I honestly don't even know what seasons are.
Yeah. No, you've lived there your whole life.
I've lived in Southern California pretty much my whole life, minus Arizona for 2 years, non-consecutive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I bet Arizona's all right.
Arizona has the hottest girls of anywhere I've ever been.
I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that.
And they're all like Republican and for the most part, not very intelligent.
Yeah. Just how I like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I like a smart girl, but like, I also like a girl that's smart, but she doesn't like try to outsmart you. You know what I mean? Like, I like girls that are smart, but they're also like bimbos.
I like girls that get all my jokes, but don't prove me wrong.
Yeah, like a girl that like I can roast and she won't be mad at me. Cause like I naturally just to like flirt, I roast girls.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, don't neg girls. I'm also a sweetheart.
I used to do that. I found that it works better if I just smother them with compliments. Well, my girlfriend now.
I mean, it all is different.
It depends on the girl too.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. Some girls love it. Some girls love when you're mean to them. I'm like, that's disgusting. I want a lady with high self-esteem. Okay. This wine is really getting through me. I might start making a couple phone calls. You know what my pickup line is right now?
I have herpes. Just kidding. It's just COVID.
No.
I meant that the other way around.
My pickup line is I heard wine kills coronavirus. Oh, I should say whiskey. That's a cooler thing to say.
How are you staying creative during all this?
Oh, my TikTok, baby. I'm on that TikTok live, baby. And I'm not dancing around like some foo-foo lily attention seeker, okay? I'm making funny content. I'm making memes, mostly centered around video games.
Plug your TikTok.
Okay, my TikTok is at fake Tom Whalen. Fake Tom Whalen is a tag that I've had for 2 years, and now I'm starting to see other people using fake in the front of their names, and it kills me inside, Eli. It makes me so mad.
That's been a thing.
I was one of the first. When I did it, I didn't know anybody with, what am I doing? Oh, I'm that wrong way. I didn't know when I started my account, fake Tom Whalen. See, now that's the thing. It was original and fun at the time. It's like over 2 years ago, like 2.5 years ago, I created this. And over the time, dude, it's become fucking so used up, and now I hate it. But anyways, that's my at fake Tom Whalen on Instagram and TikTok.
I've been making music.
What have you been? Oh, I've seen you playing a little guitar.
Yeah, so my musical skills are like, I'm pretty good for like 5 to 10 seconds. And then if I keep going, I just kind of lose it, or I'll hit a wrong note or something. So I do all my shit like I produce on my computer, so I can do my thing and then edit it to make it all sound good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been uploading. I make a lot of like beats.
Oh, dude, I've come up with some really funny, like little fake raps, and I would never, ever in a million years call myself a rapper, but like, I've come up with some pretty funny, like, not even raps, like, it would just be like beat, like sprinkles. You know what I mean? Just like things to do in the middle of a beat. That would be funny, but.
Ad-libs?
Yeah, like ad-libs, basically like ad-libs, but like they go on for a while. I don't know. And anyways, I sound retarded right now. Here,
Well,
you want to see?
If you want to check out my beats, go to soundcloud.com/nuglife with 2 E's at the end.
Dub, D-U-B. Here, look at this.
Nug, N-U-G. Oh yeah, feed that fire, baby.
That's a beauty. That's a beautiful thing to do.
Have you watched Dave? Lil Dicky
Yeah,
show.
you know what's so funny about Dave? The
Nothing.
female lead on that show is one of my childhood best friends, Taylor Mishak. Taylor and I have been friends since she was in 7th grade, and I was in 8th grade, and we hung out like for 3 summers in a row. We hung out every day because we were in like a bunch of musicals together and plays. But it was just like, for some reason, where we went to middle school and high school, there was like a huge fucking artistic push. They wanted people to be artistic. And so they really were like, they pushed it. And she's been successful. We've had a couple others, but Dave is hilarious.
You think so?
I've only watched like 15 minutes of it, but yes, I do think so, because I'm also friends with the director of it. But I'm gonna watch it, Tony. I doubt you're watching this, but Tony, if you're watching this, I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna bite my tongue then.
I doubt he's gonna watch it, But I think criticism is a real thing. I recently did a YouTube video that had I think it has 550,000 views. And dude, if you look at the comments, only bad negative comments. There's almost never good comments. But as an artist, you got to be ready for criticism. If you post a video and you only share it to your friends, you're going to get a lot of nice compliments because people like you and everything. But if something is put into the world, where people can sit in their houses and they're mad because their girlfriend's cheating on them and they have a shitty job and their car just broke down and their parents hate them, and they get to sit down in a chair and make people hurt, just like they're hurting now. That's what they want. That's what all these trolls and negative people want. They want to bring people down to their pain level, or up, however you want to look at
it. Yeah, I mean, people like to pretend that hurting other people doesn't make you feel good, but it does.
Yeah.
Bringing people down when you're feeling shitty makes you feel better, which is terrible, but that's how humans work a lot of the time.
That's why a lot of the nicest people kill themselves.
Because they just don't get it reciprocated.
Yeah, because they will not hurt people because they don't want to hurt people, but then people will hurt them and they're like, fuck. But if I hurt people, something bad's going to happen to me. That's a lot of people think that way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I get shit on the world a lot, but I don't dwell in it because I'm just like, well, I'm kind of an asshole.
I just see your computer screen right now. Are you doing something?
So, Tom, we're having some technical difficulties here. Probably should cut it short.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, so what do you think is the future of comedy? I feel like it's not going to be ever – I don't think it's going to be the same for years.
No. I would say the future is going to be – people are going to be a lot more distant, okay? I think people are going to be a lot more – there's going to be a lot more fear in the world. So, comedy is going to be – I think less people are going to be around the big crowds. Let's just say that. And I think that's going to be at least for a while. This virus is probably never going to go away. It's just we're just going to get basically inoculated with it and have our immune systems ready to handle it. But, I think we're just going to see a lot less people going to open mics, which the cream is still going to rise to the top. If you're that good, if you're good enough, you'll make it anyways. But, yeah, I don't know, man. What do you see?
I just don't see a world where people will willingly go sit around a bunch of strangers and pay for drinks for a very long time because the socialization aspect, in addition to the financial aspect of spending $40 for a night to go see live comedy, I think comedy is in hibernation for a fucking while.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're going to see how people, how the creatives deal with it.
I'm ready. I'm ready to bounce the fuck back as soon as
me too.
Everyone says it's okay.
If someone said open mics are going, I'd be back at open mics tomorrow. I'm
still very supportive of the social distancing. I want to flatten the curve. I want to not be hated by humanity. I think that's my thing, which is weird because I usually never care about that kind of thing. But I've been very adamant about let's all come together and just make, I don't know. I really don't know what it is because this is new for me for caring about that kind of thing. It's either I don't want to be on the wrong side of history. I'm jealous that other people are having fun or.
Yes, the FOMO. You know what was great about this virus? It got rid of FOMO. We were all able to go, listen, none of us are doing anything.
Yeah.
We're not missing out on anything. Go home. So we'll see how it all goes. I hope the best people use this time. I've been writing a lot. I hope everybody's out there writing a lot and just, taking this time to still be creative. Because if you're not, you're going to be way behind the 8 ball when you get back.
My whole thing has just been trying to still do comedy, but just in a different method, with music, podcasts, Or like
Yeah.
what do you do, like TikTok? I've been trying to
I'm doing
fuck
the
around with
TikTok, and there's one thing that's for sure, and that is nothing's ever going to be the same, you know?
Yeah. So where can we find you?
Find me on Instagram, Fake Tom Whalen, on TikTok at Fake Tom Whalen, Cash App, Tommy the Tenor. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, just kidding. You can find me on YouTube, Agats Company. Check out the roast battle. I just did some of my roast battles are on the roast battle YouTube if you want to see me do roast battle. And other than that, just like, I guess, Google my name. So, and Eli, thank you so much for having me on, my dude.
Thanks for coming, man, or
Yeah.
being on this. The distance is a factor for sure.
It's a factor.
But luckily, I know you, so hey,
Yeah.
cheers, brother.
Good
Have
seeing
a
you,
good-
Eli. Cheers. Hold on. Cheers.
Have a good
There
rest
we
of
go.
the quarantine. I'll still be talking to you. All right.
Have a great quarantine, everybody.
That's our CASTPERGERS for today. I'll be back soon because I have nothing else to do.